Hi everyone, it's Phil London, and today we are going to do another Pilates Level 2 class. Since I'm on location, I'm just using a couple of props that I happen to have here or that you can easily travel with. Get a sweat towel, hand towel. You can use that if you don't have weights. If you have a band, great. If you don't, you can do the class without it. This will provide tension very easily, and it is so easy to travel with. These happen to be here where I am, and so I'm going to use kettlebells instead of weights. You can use toning balls or light weights, and I am going to use an Ottoman. This is actually my favorite style of Ottoman. I am working on making something that looks like this for my home. It can provide a lot of challenge through elevation and using gravitational pull. You can use any type of Ottoman. You can use a resistance ball. Or if you don't have those tools or you can't figure out how to use them in your home, you can just do all the exercises on the mat. I will be giving plenty of modifications. When we first started quarantine, I did a 30-minute workout using an Ottoman, so you can even start with that workout and work up to a class like today, which will be intermediate level, but I will be providing lots of modifications along the way. I will say some of the exercises can get pretty challenging, but then I will always give modifications if you are new to the workout. So, without further ado, we will start our Pilates class, which will be a combination of barre, strength, and Pilates today. Thanks for joining me. So we are going to start our workout side lying with a bent knee. I like to prop my head up. You can use a yoga block, but I like to use my lower arm. It keeps the spine nice and neutral. Notice that if I straighten my arm and then I rest my head down, my head is no longer in line with the spine. And we want a nice long line all the way from the skull down to the sacrum, the base of the spine. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to lift up our bottom ribs. Again, if we let our ribs collapse to the floor, we create a U shape, and then the spine will have an S curve. So we want to keep that lifted. We're going to start out with a twist. Inhale, you're going to lift that arm nice and firm and long. Exhale, encourage it to reach to the opposite wall. Here, if I'm using my lower arm, it becomes a pillow for my head. My hand is holding my skull. You can gently look to the right as well, just to release tension in the neck. On an inhale, you're going to lift. And on an exhale, you're going to track your ribs stacked nice and tall, and then bring that arm back in front of you. Inhale, you're going to lift and reach. Feeling the ribs expand. Exhale. Let that arm reach. Feel the opposition, the collarbone nice and long. If you need to stay here longer, inhale here, and you can stay here and exhale as many times as you need. Inhale, lift. And exhale to release. Good. We're going to do one more time. Inhale. Follow that arm up. Exhale as we rotate open. Inhale. Start lifting that arm tall to the ceiling, and exhale. Bottom ribs lifted, and stack those ribs right over each other and take it back down to neutral. Awesome. So we're going to lie to our back here. If you have a band, you can put it on. Roll the shoulders back and down, and today palms facing upward. We're going to inhale, prepare. We're going to exhale, tap your right or left heel down. Inhale, lift. Exhale against the tension of the band. We're tapping down. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift, maintaining that imprint, rolling those shoulders back and down. Exhale, tap. And exhale, tap. Heel taps are in every workout. This is so we start focusing on keeping the ribs woven and descended to the pubic bone and the imprinted spine while we start to move our limbs in space. And just for creativity and keeping things fresh and new and having class feel slightly different every time you take it with me, we did it in the middle of a spinal rotation variation. Good. Excellent. So we'll inhale, exhale, return the feet back down, one and then the other, and then we can roll to the other side. If you want to, you can just roll to the other side, or you can turn around and face the other direction so you can see the camera. For purposes of filming, I will turn around just so you can see what's happening to the back of the body. On an inhale, you're going to lift. On an exhale, you're going to encourage that rotation through the rib cage. Feel the collarbone long. Inhale, lift it, and exhale to return it back to neutral. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach, open. Inhale. And exhale to return. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale to reach. Inhale to lift. And exhale to return to neutral. Great job. We're going to roll to our back again. And we're going to do your hip rolls. That same palms up feel. Roll the shoulders back and down. On an inhale, you breathe in. On an exhale, you roll through an imprint. Squeeze your glutes. Roll your hips off the mat into your bridge. Inhale at the top of this move. And exhale, roll back down through each articulation all the way through to your neutral pelvis. We're going to do 3 more. Roll through an imprint. Squeeze your glutes. Roll your hips off the mat into your bridge. Inhale at the top. And exhale, roll back down through each articulation all the way through to your neutral. 2 more. Roll the shoulders. Roll through an imprint, squeeze your glutes, roll your hips off the mat into your bridge. Inhale and exhale, roll back down. Nice, and we will do 1 more time. Roll through an imprint, squeeze your glutes, roll your hips off the mat into your bridge. We'll stay here and we will work on endurance and stability. Roll those shoulders back and down. Make sure the collarbone feels wide. Make sure you're not pinning your shoulders forward. Okay, we're going to firmly press our right leg and we're going to slowly extend the left. I tend to do a lot of these stability-based exercises in the hip roll to start to transfer energy right and left of the hip. We're going to firmly press the left and extend the right. Toe ball heel back down. Noticing I'm not letting the band pull my leg across the midline. Firmly press your right foot. Firmly press the foot first. Then just extend your knee. Don't pick it up through the hip flexor and then straighten out the leg. Toe ball heel. Roll through that foot. Firmly press your left and extend your right. And toe ball heel back down. Firmly press and extend. And toe ball heel back down. Firmly press left, extend right. Toe ball heel back down. Firmly press right. I am also pressing my arms towards the floor to help with this extension. Firmly press, extend. Toe ball heel. Firmly press, extend. Toe ball heel back down. Stay here. Inhale, trekking hips, knees, and ankles all aligned. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, pulse it up. 8, 7, 6, 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a nice big inhale as we raise our arms to the ceiling. And on the exhale, we roll our spine all the way down through each articulation, returning your pelvis to neutral. And then we will rest the arms down on the mat. And from here, we'll flip over on the belly. We'll do a little thoracic warm-up and also some shoulder girdle, mobility, flexibility, and range of motion. First, elbows by the body, tip of the nose is on the mat. We're going to inhale, prepare. We're going to exhale, lightly extend the spine. You want to feel your shoulders retract here. Inhale, stay. Keep your neck long. Gently draw your chin in. Exhale as you lower it back down to the mat. Please note that I don't lower all the way down just to keep interference from the microphone, but you can go all the way down to your tip of the nose is on the mat. Inhale. On the exhale, lightly extend the spine. Okay, don't come up too high. If you start to feel it low in the thoracic, you're coming up too high in your thoracic warm-up. Inhale and exhale, lower it back down. We'll do one more here. Lightly extend the spine. Gently press those forearms and fingertips and don't come up too high, and gently feel the shoulders retract here. And then lower it back down. And the next exercise, Superwoman, traditionally known as Superman. We're going to reach the arms out. You can use a towel, a dish towel, a strap, a band, or nothing. We're going to inhale, prepare. We're going to just exhale, hover all of our limbs, arms and legs off the mat, and stabilize and support from the core. And lower back down. If that is too hard, aggressive, you can go one arm, one leg, and switch. Okay, inhale, prepare. Exhale, Superwoman. Hold, really reach long. Really straighten your knees and really reach through the toes. And then lower back down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. One more time. We're going to inhale, prepare. We're going to exhale. Nice. And then lower back down. Now toes are going to stay down. Let go of that towel. We're going to hover the arms, but you can also track them on the floor. You're going to hover and reach to T shape without letting the shoulders round forward or going to 4 and 8. We want 3 and 9. We're going to come all the way to the side of the body and come up just a little higher in extension, but no pain through the low thoracic into the lumbar. We're going to reach back to your 3 and 9, your T, and then back to your Y shape. Okay, when you're in your Y, you're in your lowest point. Maybe nose is on the ground, maybe hands are rested on the ground. We're going to hover, we're going to reach to T, we're going to go to I, we're going to exhale to T, we're going to exhale to Y. Do it again. If you want to rest down in between, I often do. You can. Hover, inhale, inhale, T and I, and then T and Y. Like I said, you can rest down in between. We'll do it again. And we're going to reach to T. We're going to come to I. Notice I'm not jutting my neck out. We're going to T and we're going to Y. Listen to the sound of my voice when my neck is neutral. T, if I go to here, I strain my neck. I strain my vocal cords. If I go to here, it's nice and neutral. You can hear me really clearly. Back to T and back to Y. We'll go up for our hover. We'll go T and I and T and Y. If you want to hover, here I'm hovering Y. You can see toes are glued. We're going T. It's much harder to hover Y because that's the highest resistance on those arms reaching against that torso. And then we're going back to T and Y. So right there, that is so hard, okay? T and I. It sounds like too much information. TMI. And reach if you want, fingertips or light touch, your choice. T, I on that inhale, T, wow, these got really hard, and Y, and then rest it all the way down. Bringing your hands in, we're going to push ourselves up to all fours. We're going to be doing hip rocking today, and the hip rocking will also have a dolphin dog is what I call it. Bring your hands forward of your shoulders just a little bit so that when you rock forward, you gently arch your back, but you don't have to. You can stay in your push-up position. Make sure your hips aren't too high. You're tucking and using your abs and your glutes here, and you're in a nice push-up position. If you feel it's comfortable to you, go ahead and extend your spine. For me, this is the best extension I can do for an old herniated disc. Makes my back feel the best it can. So if that's right for you, then you can go ahead and go there. Pick up your abs, making sure not to hinge back. Pick up your abs to your push-up position. This is where you would push up. We're not going to do it now. And then you're going to press through what would be flat back all fours. I do this every week in all my videos. Then gently press back. I call it position 3. It's before child's pose. Slowly drop both forearms down to the ground. Curl the toes under and press yourself back. Right now I'm calling that 5. It's past child's pose. But if you'd like to go to child's pose, you can. Okay, then slowly drop the knees. Press up through both triceps and pull your body forward into your gentle extension, optional. Then pick up the abs, press back, flat back, gently, simultaneously drop the forearms down, curl the toes under, and press back. I'm calling that position 5. And then down, pick yourself up. Forward, gentle extension, that's 1, flat back, 2, 3 is before child's pose, and then we're going past child's pose for dolphin. If you were to stop in child's pose, that would be your traditional 4. Drop those knees, press up simultaneously. Boy, I can start to feel those triceps train. They're definitely talking to me. And pick up those abs. Flat back, press back. Before your child's pose, don't round your back here. Drop to the forearms and press back. We're going to hold this one. We're going to alternate the heel presses. If your arms slip, you can go to hardwood floor. Today I'm just demoing on a full carpet. If you're tired, you can go to child's pose. We can bend both knees and press. 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 Nice job. I'm going to take a nice big inhale here. Slowly drop my knees and press back into my full child's pose. Really stretching back. I mean, I press my heel of my hand. I talk about this every week. It's on my Instagram page. I really try and reach. Our lats get so tight, and then we work on drawing them down our back. All the workouts where we don't elevate our shoulders. So we do need to stretch this area. So really press into the ground. Usually I go into rolling hills. Today I'd like you to focus on turning the palms all the way up in this position and then back down. If it doesn't feel right to you, like for instance, if you have knee replacement or knee injuries, this is where an Ottoman could be helpful for you. So I love it here. You can do it in child's pose. Why don't I show it here? Child's pose is great. I do it all the time in child's pose. But if this is too hard for you and you're rounding your back and you can't get that articulation in your child's pose, you can prop yourself up with towels, pillows, or an Ottoman. So let me show it here. I think that will be nice today. Here we're going to rotate. Wow, I can get a lot of actual traction through that shoulder girdle. So this is really nice. If you happen to have a Pilates barrel, some of my clients do, you can use that. You can use a ball, a chair, or an Ottoman. Okay, then take it back to flat. But remember, I showed child's pose already. If you don't want to get any props, you might have had time to do 8 already of these rotations, okay? So we're here in rotation for the second one. I'm really trying to rotate from under my shoulder blades, okay? And then take it back to center. Wow, this is really nice. And you notice my head is here. If you use a coffee table, put a pillow down or a towel. And then we rotate again. Our palms go up, but we're really trying to work at the shoulder girdle level. I should touch my left shoulder girdle, make sure that one's working as good as the right. And then back to flat. This is pronation, supination. What's up? What's up, everybody? Okay, one more time. Rotate. And then back to neutral. Excellent. And then from here, we can roll out of it one vertebrae at a time, getting a nice articulation all the way up through your neutral. So again, you could have been in child's pose. This was fantastic. I learned this from my physical therapist. Now, since it's out, we're going to keep it. Okay, we're going to make sure we have enough room. We're going to do a roll down. Now, normally a roll down would start from the floor up, but we're going to start from the up position down to the ground. Okay, we're here. Inhale. Feels like a really nice stretch. Again, a coffee table would work that you can put your legs under, but you need a pillow of some sort. Notice that I'm not leaning from my low back. Guys, that's what it would look like. I want you to have your ribs right over your hips. I am still working on that stretch under my arms and through my scapula. Inhale, start rolling back. Exhale, finish rolling down. I'm pressing outward on the Ottoman. And if you have a ball between your legs, you can squeeze that ball. But again, you can just use the band or nothing. And then reach the arms over by the hairline. Inhale, arms over chest, tight, nod, chin, curl, flex. So by pressing outward, I was able to use my inner thigh, stabilize a little bit more, scoop out my belly, and reach myself forward of the Ottoman. Okay. Now, the reason why I love this Ottoman is I could quickly turn it, which I will show you, and then I can actually work on the inner thigh. If you have a ball, it would be more like this. Right now, I'm pushing outward on the Ottoman and reaching over by your hairline. On the next roll up, I will show you how you can transition it. Nod, chin, curl, flex, roll up, rounded shape for your feet. I put a lot of roll ups in my workouts, and then sometimes I have to edit them out because my workouts are too long. So here's what it would look like if you had a ball between your legs. Inhale, start rolling back down. Finish rolling down. Okay, so you could see how quickly nod, chin, curl, flex. I can change the dynamic of this exercise, this roll up. Reach it, ribs over hips, and slowly rolling down through each articulation of the spine all the way through. Down to the mat. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to do an ab series. Bring this a little closer. I'm just going to keep it like this, although you can keep it turned. I'm going to put my feet on it. We're about to do an ab series, and you can use any of the props, the ball, the Ottoman, and a mini ball or a foam roller. The object will roll away from you. If it is an Ottoman, it won't unless it has wheels. You can always do this with your legs in tabletop. I've had a lot of clients tell me that they can tell that if they use it lightly, they can get a lot of ab activation and not strain to their neck or their low back using a light prop. So try it sometime. If it's not today, that's okay. Okay, we're going to start with our feet there, our hands behind the head. And we're going to flex our torso. So we'll warm up here. Flexing the torso, inhale to lower. Exhale, flexing the torso, inhale to lower. I barely have my feet feeling like they are rested on this Ottoman. Exhale, zipping up the abs, really focusing on flattening the abdominals like saran wrap, and exhale to flex. Okay, sliding my ribs down to my hips, drawing my pelvic floor upward. Excellent. Now straighten out both legs, and this time you're going to flex your knees into your chest, but I'm going to barely use that Ottoman. Listen to the sound of my voice when the exercise gets harder, because that is real. It's like reality. Exhale. I don't make that part up. And then inhale as you release it long, because I'm not letting my legs rest on this Ottoman. Exhale, slide it in like a string, pulling up, and lengthen it away. And again, slide it in. Slide it out. Again, you can have your legs in tabletop. Okay, we're going to go for 4 more here and then work on some obliques. Good. If you really want an aggressive ab challenge, you could get on top of your Ottoman if it's long enough. This one is, which is why I love this Ottoman. Other Ottomans could be short and square, which wouldn't provide you a lot of support, but this is actually the length of your torso, so it is a beautiful bench scenario. And lengthen it back out, and exhale. I feel so much ab work because I'm really sliding my ribs down to tuck into my pants by my hips. And now we're going to add in rotation. We're going to twist to the right knee and still slide the ball or the legs in, or tabletop to 90 and diagonal, back to center, and exhale, twist. to me, it's really amazing. The legs are coming in neutral. The torso is twisting. How much I feel my entire abdominal contract from the flexion at the hip and the rotation at the torso. Okay, and we're just gonna hug those knees into the chest. If you have a ball, it will come in close. You can also wiggle down closer to the Ottoman just to hug the knees into the chest. Most of my clients love doing that with the ball. As I mentioned many times, you can go ahead and just work the diagonal and do more repetitions. We did the center and the rotation. Awesome job. Now here, after releasing that hug the knees into the chest, we're going to place our feet on the Ottoman. It could be neutral, or I'm just leaving it this way for now. Roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to exhale, bridge your hips up. Good, and then lower back down. We're going to bridge your hips up. This elevation will help you feel your glutes and your hamstrings, and then lower back down. We're going to exhale, do it again. We want to make sure that you don't go up too high and load and jam your cervical. You want to lift and squeeze the glutes and keep your neck nice and stable. If you want a little arm activation, bend your arms, reach your fingertips towards the ceiling, and as you press your hips, you push your arms in opposition. Exhale. Tightening up my core too, making sure not to pop in the ribs. I mean, you just feel this so much more with elevation. Again, you can use your couch. If you use a ball, it will be a huge hamstring feel. If you use an Ottoman, it's more glute to hamstring because the Ottoman doesn't slide away from you. Now we're going to stay up here and we're going to pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, stay, and exhale, roll the spine down. Also, don't forget I have the band on. It is optional again. All right, so the next variation is going to be a one on, one off, which is why I kept this object on its vertical versus horizontal turn. That way I could put my left leg down on the ground. You can keep your arms bent or straighten them out if you need them for support. My favorite way to do this exercise is with a ball, rolling this leg out, your gesturing leg out and in, but it works really nice with a solid surface like this as long as you can straighten out the leg. Okay, so even if I turn to this couch back there, I could probably still do this at the edge of the couch. So I'm going to keep my arms bent to get that nice tricep and back feel. We're going to do 4 repetitions of one high, one low. If you have a ball, it's going to really use that hamstring because this will slide around. Exhale, but here you see it stays nice and stable. And lower back down. We've got 2 more here. I'm already feeling my hamstring on my top leg. It's got more of a bend here. And exhale. If you have that rolling object, the object will roll out and in, and if you don't, we just slide the leg out. If you didn't have anything, you just extend the leg out and in to a tabletop position. It would be up here, okay? So slide it out, light. I'm not relaxing. I'm actually very hovered off this device. Very light feel. I'm sliding out. and sliding in. Knowing where your body is in space, proprioception, space and time, is so key for feeling different muscles. That's why I love to use props. So by doing this light feel, slide out and in, my body is knowing where it is in space, and I'm getting a lot of feedback into my hamstring, my calf, my core, my shoulders. That's why I like to use props. But again, you could just kick that leg out and in. So now we're going to stay on this last one, out and in, okay? Now there are some variations that you could stay out in pulse, 8, 7, 6, right? Or bent. I'm going to keep it bent, and in future videos out straight, okay? Pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe, 4, 3, pushing both now, 2 and 1. Hold on the inhale. And here we're going to roll the spine down through each articulation all the way through to your neutral. All right, we're going to go over to the other side. One leg on, one leg off, bent arms. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, we're going to bridge. I am still hip width distance apart. I've moved my body to the right of my object so that I can remain hip width distance apart. Okay, we did 4, just in case you're using a ball. It's pretty aggressive to the hamstring to do this variation. I can really feel the work I did on the other leg. So here we go with sliding out the gesturing leg. So we slide it out and in. Now, interesting, that felt totally different. I got loose of the Ottoman, and now I had to really think about sliding my leg out. Sliding it out. Good. Out. Can really feel this stabilizing leg. Okay, your hands can be down by your side to help. We know we are either sliding a ball out, a foam roller. If it is a rolling Ottoman, maybe that might work. It could like really get away from you if it is an Ottoman with, gosh, how many times did I say Ottoman in this workout? Exhale. But if it is a rolling one, it could get away from you. The ball will stay pretty nicely. The foam roller will be a little harder. Mini ball would work. And remember, you could just gesture out and in. And I'm lightly using this. If you have issues with hip stability and you dip when you're in a single leg variation, this will also help keep you level. Pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, breathe, 2 and 1. Stay here on the inhale. And on the exhale, roll back down through each articulation all the way through to your neutral. Now, if I was working out on my own, I'd do a couple of roll-ups, but my workouts lately have been too long and I've got to cut them down. So we're going to move on to reverse abdominals. I'm just going to use this leg to help me roll up. Now, if you have an anchor like a heavy weight, a coffee table, you can use that, but I'm going to go ahead and use the prop that I chose today for the workout, which is, the Ottoman. It is kind of funny though, because I had a lot of my managers when I did the 30-minute Ottoman say, "Oh, I did your Pilates workout." I said, "Which one?" They were like, "The Ottoman one." So it became popular. I think it has a lot of views there. Now, you can hold onto either side. You can hold lightly on the top. We've done this many times in workouts. It's also individually on my Instagram, so you can practice. You can take your legs out on a diagonal. I'm not going to. I'm just going to show a couple variations. You can keep your knees bent, hold lightly, and roll up the amount that you can keep your body in the shape. Don't straighten your legs, although you can. Just see if you can roll up, stretch your back, and work your deep abs, okay? Before you start flinging your legs, before you start thinking you need to go here and arch your back and strain your back, stop. Just focus on peeling your spine off the mat. Here's the modification. And then return. Can you guys see how I don't fall, I don't bang, I don't smack down to the mat? I just lift the amount that I can. All right, and I am cool with that, and it works, and it helps me feel my low abdominal connection. I'm telling you, if you're just smacking back down to the ground, you are not stabilizing and using your core. Okay, you can hold long if you want to. You can hold on top if you want to. Play around with what's comfortable to you. Okay, and exhale. Now this is a little light and I can feel my body picking it up. It actually is a really nice tricep exercise. See? But I'm working really hard not to pick it up. I'm working really hard to just work isometric contraction and rolling slowly back down. Now, my triceps are sore from isometric contraction. If you do want to try a stronger and more challenging option without flinging your toes, is keeping your legs. Exhale, rolling over. You can open the legs, flex the feet, and slowly roll down, which is a traditional Pilates rollover. Okay, I'm going to take my legs down the diagonal that I can maintain connection and not strain my back and not pop in my abdominals. So my legs are not very far down. Okay, inhale, hinge. Exhale, slowly roll over. My legs are open now. Close them. Flex the feet. Slide down with control. Nice. I'm going to do one more forward, one more back. You can do a modification, okay, or you can do the knee bent variation. Go ahead and choose now. My feet are together. Inhale. This is the intermediate rollover. It's more of a chair-based exercise. See that nice control I have here? Ribs down to my hips. My legs are open. My Ottoman lifted a little. I'm trying not to. Close my legs. Whew. Wow, I really felt that. Hug those knees into the chest. Take a nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. Straighten out your right leg. Hug that left knee into the chest. Your hip flexors might get tight or sore from that variation, and that is just that eccentric length and challenging it. And then we switch our sides. Breathe and hold. Roll the shoulders back and down. Awesome. And release. All right, guys, so the rest of this video is going to be a voiceover because the reality of virtual and remote training is that sometimes your microphone dies in the middle of filming. In any case, we are going to do a side lying position. You can always do this without the Ottoman. Just lift your top leg and then bring the bottom leg to meet it and then return the bottom leg to the floor. We're going to do about 8 reps. You can also use the Ottoman by pressing upward to it and having the top leg under the Ottoman while continuing to bring that bottom leg up. A more challenging position is the top leg on the Ottoman, pressing down and then bringing the bottom leg up to meet it. You get a lot of inner thigh, but this is going to make sense in a moment when we go into a side bridge position. This side bridge position will be advanced. Okay, inhale, prepare, exhale, lower leg lifts. And if you do stay down, you could do potentially 12 repetitions. You'll have time. Okay, so we're going to go up into side bridge. I would teach myself to come up in my hip level as I'm watching the video and doing the audio. I'm noticing my hips are dropping a little bit. That's instability and lack of strength there. But this exercise is extremely challenging. I would say advanced. If you are getting shoulder pain, please do this exercise lying all the way down. Exhale, we lift that bottom leg, we lower it, and we lower back down. Okay, just letting you know here, again, if you want to do a side bridge variation, you could do a full arm position and then lower and lift the leg from there. That would be more wrist, but it would be less shoulder, but it is still extremely challenging. All right, so now we're going to go into a side bend. We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale, side bend over. Let your head fall into the line of this position. Breathe in and exhale and do it again. Exhale, side bend and stretch over. Good. We're taking a nice big inhale here. Nice big exhale, and we're going to reach and rotate. Awesome. Stay here on the inhale. On the exhale, coming back to center, coming all the way up on the inhale, and exhale as you return it back down. Awesome job. Now we're going to switch our sides, and I want to remind you, do the same variations on the second side. Even if you know it's your stronger or weaker side, you want to keep your exercises balanced, and you always want to be trying to strengthen the weaker side. So I'm about to start my left, and it is my weaker side, but I managed to keep up with my stronger right side there. One tip is you can always start with your weaker side and see what it's capable of doing, and then you can add from there. So bottom leg is meeting the top. And about the same repetitions, I went up into my side bridge to show that. It was so much harder. I wish you could have heard me while filming because my sound of my voice was getting strained because it was so challenging to do those last few. I could barely lift my bottom leg throughout this variation. However many you did on the first side is how many you want to do on the second side. Maybe you did 12 at the level 1, maybe you did 4 to 8 at the level 2 and 3 advanced. You can use a kickstand hand I mentioned here, and also you can go all the way up into your full arm position. Remember, that's very extensive loading on your wrist. Forearm is a lot of loading on your shoulder, but if your shoulder hurts, the wrist doesn't, you might want to take the full arm option. Okay, I'm really struggling on this side to finish this, I am telling you. And then I show the variation of the full arm. And then I mentioned these are just ideas for the next workout, and you can vary it up weekly as you feel you need. Here we're going to do our side bend again, reaching. Remember, you can use a ball here, or nothing at all, and that hand would be on the floor. And then we're going to do that again. Inhale. And we're going to take that nice big rotation. Inhale, exhale, rotate towards your device, whatever you're using. The ball, the Ottoman, or the floor. Take a nice big inhale and exhale and release. Nice job. Okay, we're about to start a push-up set. And we're going to do 8 to 12 repetitions of push-ups depending on what you feel you can do. You're going to see me on my knees here, modifying my push-up. And you're going to also see me in my plank position. So just keep going with your push-ups if you are strong at them. I want to talk a little bit more about education of push-ups. A lot of clients will say to me, I'm not strong, I can't do push-ups. Or when am I going to be strong enough to do push-ups? Well, when my knees are on the floor and I'm modifying, I actually feel more chest. When I am in full plank, I feel more full body. So it really is up to you what your goal is. I just don't want you to think you are strong if you can do push-ups and you're weak if you can't, because you can always modify and still effectively challenge the muscles you're looking to train. So you're seeing me actually do a combination. When I can't do any more in plank, I drop to my knees, I continue, I still feel the burn. And then if I feel strong enough to go back to the full, you'll see me actually transition back into the full just to do 1 or 2 more. Okay, so it is totally up to you how you like to do your push-ups. Good. Inhale. And if you can hear my voice, I'm like pushing up with definitely a strain. Okay, drop to the knees and we're ready for child's pose. And that's with the Ottoman or without, you can just take it to the ground. I just thought it'd be really nice to vary up the routine a little bit for those of you who take class with me regularly. And here you can also see me clawing the mat or the Ottoman. I'm really wrapping my hands around the Ottoman. And that's just to get more traction in my stretch. And then rolling out of it 1 vertebrae at a time. And then we're going to do dips. And I'm going to show a bunch of variations for dips. If you have a shoulder injury, I wouldn't do dips. I'm going to show a modification lying down, doing skull crushers in a moment with the weights. So if you are going to do dips, you can go ahead and get started. You can do it with bent knees. You can do it with straight legs. Okay, just make sure not to round your back when you're doing it. Okay, and keep the shoulders back. Now, you can take it to the floor. This is how a barre class would do a dip. Bend and stretch. Or here it is. Here is the modification. Grab your weights, lie down on your back. You can have your legs down or in tabletop, and you can skull crush. All right, so choose your exercise. Here we go. And we're going to do your dips. Inhale, bend, and exhale, press. Good. I like these, but again, if you have wrist or shoulder, it's not a good option for you. Go ahead and grab those dumbbells. Lie down on your back. You could also work in some type of tabletop using the Ottoman, a ball, or a Bosu. Here I lifted my hips. You can get some hip lift and extension throughout your tricep as well. I am assisting with my legs. Again, if you do straight legs, it's going to be a lot more tension into those arms. So here's your triceps. Breathe it out and walk it in. And then we will stretch. And we're going to do a tricep stretch here as our seated stretch right after the dips. We're going to do both sides, sitting up nice and tall. You can also be sitting on the floor, cross-legged, or standing. It's totally up to you here. Awesome job. Roll the shoulders back. And so amazing, we can rotate. This feels amazing to do. I would really recommend you get something elevated to sit on. So I'm sitting in a nice chair position and rotating at my rib cage, getting a nice mobility through that thoracic spine. And now we're going to have some fun with a little bit of core work on the top of the Ottoman. Hands behind the head, legs into tabletop. Maintain that imprinted spine. And exhale, twist to the right knee, straighten the left leg. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist to the left and straighten the right. I still have the band on, but you can take the band off. The Ottoman is going to give you a challenge above and below because of gravitational pull. And this particular Ottoman has a foam pad on top, so it is very comfortable to do this on. In the Pilates studio, I used to do these on top of the long box. It gives the same idea, but this is just a nice way to elevate the exercise and challenge your core. We inhale and exhale, twist. Make sure not to lean to the side, right or left. We are twisting and rotating towards the knee. Elbows point upward towards the corner of the room as opposed to really pushed open and wide. My philosophy is that if you push your elbows too wide, you'll also elevate the shoulders. That's just my opinion on the oblique twist. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And we're doing 8 on each side, or as many as you can do. Awesome. Anytime you need a break, hug the knees like this. But now we're going to set up for some pulses. Again, if you need more time to rest, you can. hands behind the head. Exhale, pulse 8, 7, 6, 5. Breathe it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Roll up. And then we will roll up and sit up and do that rotation again. Why not? They feel amazing. And if you don't have an Ottoman, you can always do this on a chair sitting up tall. We're going to have some fun now and strength train at the same time. We're going to set ourselves up on our bench, our ball, or of course the floor lying on your back in a bridge position. And by the way, I still have my band on. We're going to do a chest fly. This is also the modification to push-ups. So if earlier you didn't do the push-ups for some reason because of a wrist issue, here is how you would always go ahead and strengthen your chest if you can't do a push-up variation. This is a fly. It's a big open hug. You let the arms float to a 3 and 9, and exhale, you hug upward to the ceiling, and a big barrel hug. So that's what we're seeing. We're inhaling on the open, we're exhaling on the close. We are in an isometric glute bridge here, and the core is active as well. When I want to feel my glutes a little bit more, sometimes pinned on a Bosu or on the ground, I actually get better glute work. Here I get more of a core feel. But this is just a nice change to the workout if you are always doing mat Pilates and you're on the ground. On a bench, I have the bench right now the wider way, which will change the dynamic of the exercise. So it does support some of my arm length. If it was vertical, I would be working against a heavier gravitational pull, in my opinion. So we're inhaling and the exhaling. We're going to do about 8 reps, which takes about 90 seconds. Now we're going to be doing a down and up bridge series, and I'll talk a little bit more about the elevation that happens. Now, this would be a traditional bench bridge. You'd go into the gym, you might hug the sides of the bench into 3 and 9, the long benches that we have at the club. But here, I am lifting my head because that first repetition where I tried to keep my head down did not work, and a ball would roll with you. A Bosu, you could actually stay down as well. You can put the weights down and put your hands behind the head if your neck is bothering you, but still, this is a really nice down and up bridge. It just feels really nice to do. Plus, you get a little massage to your scapula that's like sort of right at the edge of that bench. All right. After we do 8, we stay up and we will pulse up. You can keep the weights on your hips or put the weights down. It's optional. Pulse in a moment here. Up. 8, 7, 6, 5. Make sure to keep your head neutral, which I will do in just a moment. I connect with the audience by looking, but then please bring your head back to neutral as soon as you possibly can. Now we're doing inner and outer thigh, in and slowly out. It's not fast. Try to keep your hips in one elevated position isometrically, although mine are dropping a little bit and lifting as I'm watching the video. That's actually how I learn about my own body, is by filming myself and then watching it back and editing it. That's when I say, oh, this is what I have to work on, or this is my homework this week. Then here we're going to do a little set of pulses one last time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Excellent. We're going to put those weights down on the ground. You want to do that first. Now you can either sit on the ground or maneuver yourself back up to sit on top of the Ottoman, or if you're on the ball, you would walk in and roll up. If you're sitting, you can just come up to a sitting tall position, like straight out in front of you. We're going to think about our nice long line up. Inhale, reach up, and exhale as you fold yourself over to touch your toes. So if you're sitting on the ball, you're sitting on the floor, or the Ottoman or chair, and reach it. And then when you're ready, take a nice big inhale and exhale, roll it all the way up to the top, back to neutral. Beautiful. And then another strength exercise, one of my favorites, a tricep kickback. So we're gonna turn, your device. You can kneel on the ball. You can be on all fours on the floor. And then we're going to grab our weight. It can be a toning ball, a light weight, a kettlebell. It can even be a case of seltzer. Okay, and you can put your finger in the little opening. We're going to row and kick back and then come back into our right angle and then return the arm back down. Now this is a row kick back combo. Here you want to keep a nice flat back, a soft bend in your standing leg. There are alternate arm and leg variations to this as well, but I chose just a traditional kneeling row kickback combo. Your weight needs to be appropriate for the kickback because it's a combo move. If you were just doing rows, you might have your 10 or your 12 as long as you can keep your shoulder stable. But with a kickback, a 5, especially a kettlebell, really firmly in the palm of my hand. Make sure not to do a bicep curl here. That's what I'm mentioning here. You want to row back and then press back. So like I said, I would use a 5 for a kickback, possibly a 7 if I was really strengthening a lot. But that is why this combo is being done with a 5 right now, because that's what my whole combination move can handle. Make sure not to round your back here, guys. We're pulsing. We see that arm activation, that tricep, straighten that arm. I'm bending my elbow a little bit. I would actually cue myself, firmly straighten that arm. Nice. Okay, we're going to switch sides. We're going to do about 8 row kickback combos on the other side. And then we're going to do our pulses. And by the way, you should feel that a lot in your back of the standing leg. Your hamstring is what I'm telling you. Exhale, press. No one is more bummed that I lost this audio, and it took probably 3 times as long to completely edit this video. So hopefully you guys still love it and you're still working out with me, and maybe I'll refilm all these. But it was dark by the time I was done. So we're doing our kickback, and we're making lemonade. Our row and our kickback. Good. Row and kickback. I would tell myself to softly bend my right arm. Don't lock it. It's just almost neutral. It's heading towards a locked elbow. Hey, maybe that's what I said in the video. We're pulsing, 2. I actually think I say don't bring your arm across the midline. Keep it in line with the shoulder. But what I was saying on my voiceover matched that too. All right. Nice. So I'm going to now show heel squeeze prone, and I'm going to keep the weight, but that's because it's easy for me. I've done it so many times. It can be a dumbbell. It's right now my kettlebell. I just put it in my feet. I lied down on my ottoman, and then I did a glute press. You can do this on the floor. I'm actually going to come off the ottoman and show you it on the floor. And bonus points to anybody who counts how many times I said ottoman throughout this workout. You can send me a message. Here it is on the floor, heel squeeze prone. So doable for everybody. And with or without the weight is always optional. All right, but I love this elevated feel. I love that my core is working. My fingertips are in front of my eyebrows. So I went back to this position. And it's an inhale, exhale as you press your heels to the ceiling. Lightly press your pubic bone down. Basically, what I am talking about right now is how comfortable it is to be on this ottoman. It is fabric and has foam too. So I would do many variations, like you can do your kickbacks, you can keep your legs straight while you do that. You can also do YTIs. It's just so amazing. And the elevation gives you that core strength feel on the obliques, which I absolutely love. You can feel a ton of glutes here. And nice activation and very comfortable. Okay, from here, rolling the shoulders back and down, making sure the scapula is stable and working on that glute press. Okay, slowly, I said if you have neighbors below you, don't smash your weight to the ground, just push up slowly and lower the weight down carefully. And then we're doing just a standing stretch. All right, this is a nice variation if you can't be in child's pose because of deep knee flexion. And then look, you can just stretch over to the side and then over to the other side. Nice. And then we take it back to center when you're ready, and we slowly roll. And roll it slowly up nice and tall to the top of the spine. Awesome. So this is a bonus section for my YouTube channel. It made the video a little bit longer, but you could always do the video in sections. We're going to do a combination one leg sit to stand. You could always do a two-legged squat, and then a one leg hinge. So we sit without plopping or falling, stand, and then hinge at the right hip and stand. Relax the shoulders, balance, and core stability. So this challenges strength, flexibility, core stability. I'm here holding a towel, but you could always use light weights. I only have 5-pound kettlebells, so that would be too heavy for me on a hinge. Plus, I really wanted to focus on my balance. Keep in mind that if you're on a rug, it's harder to balance, especially if it's a very cushioned rug. A hardwood floor would have a better stability for balance. An uneven surface is harder to balance on. Think about a Bosu or a ball or a stability disc. All right, so you can see me struggling with my balance, but that's what I'm working here. Make sure not to fall or lean back. We absolutely make sure that we are sitting with control and standing. We're going to do about 8 on each side, keeping a soft bend in your right knee and really effectively straightening out that left leg as it reaches to the opposite wall. You can flex or point your toe. I think I tend to point just to feel the elongation of the leg. Sit to stand. And inhale, hinge, and exhale as you come back up nice and tall. Awesome. 8 on each. Great job. Try to keep the head above the shoulders. Try not to elevate the shoulders when you're doing this exercise. Now we're rotating to the front to do the plie. I just thought this was fun. The legs take the shape of the Ottoman, and I'm kind of pulsing on the down. If you wanted more dynamic exercise, you could plyometric jump these plies. You could hold a plie static, or you could do what I did with a pulse. So we're switching sides. Awesome. My knee is slightly bent. I could be working on elongating my right knee. Sit to stand. No leaning back. These are really hard for me. Squats and sits are hard for me because I'm tight in my ankles. Core stability. Sit. Exhale, stand. And hinge. And awesome. Just relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Make sure it doesn't start to look like a hunchback on your hinge. And again, with this voiceover, I might be saying tons of things. There, I think I say, don't use your arms and swing your arms. But, I think all of us will never know. So just keep it stable. Have fun with it. Relax the shoulders back and down. I am seeing my shoulders kind of hike up a little bit, but that is probably because I'm tight, and sit to stands are hard for me. Keep hinging. Good. Take it back to center. Now this little combo is a great combination, and you can use a chair. So if you didn't have an Ottoman but you wanted to just do this piece, you could do your one leg sit to stands, one leg hinge, then your plie section, and go to both sides. 8 with each, that would be 16 plies, and you can always do plyos if you want more dynamic workout. These look like single repetitions. The other one looked a little more like a pulse, but still really good for you. Do you notice how my quads are parallel to the ground? My knees are in line with my ankles. And as if all of those exercises were not my favorite. We're about to do my favorite part of the class, which is this really nice stretch. So we're gonna push back, and if you are on the ground, it's a down dog plank opposition. You can also go into extension towards the floor or ottoman. Relax the shoulders back and down, press back, and pull forward, and press back, and pull forward. Good. Now slowly we're going to bring our right leg forward, drop carefully to the knee, don't smash down, neighbors, and your knee's not going to be happy either. And then gently press the hip flexor of the left side into the ottoman and slide down. You can also use a ball. This variation with the ball is on my Instagram as its own separate video with the ball, and a beautiful stretch. Just let your body release all the way down. I'm being careful because I don't want the mic to make a lot of noise, but the mic wasn't on. And we're just stretching down. You can turn your head all the way to the side wall. Boy, do I want to straighten out those picture frames back there, or that one on the left. Right looks pretty good. Then I call this the Titanic. You're stretching at the front of the boat. You can either reach up or to 3 and 9, or hands behind the head and just stretch back. Take a nice big inhale here. Nice big exhale, lightly pressing your hip into your tool, your device. I can't say, well, I'll say it one more time, ottoman again. And then we'll go back into plank and then into a downward facing dog. Feel, it's just a stretch back if you're standing, but it is a great way to release tension on your spine, and then we'll step the other leg forward. You can do as many of those as you want, guys. You can shut this video off because you're tired of the voiceover and just stretch on your own, but those would be your stretches. Some of you are laughing. You're on mute anyway. Anyway, so I'm just being funny now because I'm behind the camera. So I went all the way down again. I turned my head to the opposite side, and then I'm in my Titanic. If my neck is tired, I hold it. If I don't feel tension in my neck, I reach my arms to 3 and 9. I did have some migraines this week, so I modified. Final stretch is just a quad and hip flexor stretch. If you're lying on the floor, you would just lie all the way down and pull that heel behind you gently and get a quad stretch lying on your side. You'd be facing the camera. And you can also do this off the couch. You could see I could lie on my couch right now, right behind this. You could do this off the end of your bed. Now I'm hugging in my right leg, and I tucked my left under. If you are tight, you will just rest your foot down on the floor. But if you are not tight, you can tuck it in. I've showed this variation also on the foam roller, which is even more tight. It depends on your knee flexibility. So we're hugging gently in. I have my hand behind the head because this is not long enough for me to rest my entire torso. If you're on your bed, you could be resting down. If you're on the couch, you could be resting down. And one more time, you could be lying on your side, just bringing your heel towards your butt until you feel a stretch in the front of your thigh. Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I know this workout was a little bit different. It is the style that I use with my clients in my private classes and also in my groups. So if you love mat Pilates and you want to continue doing the classes in my showcase, please go to them. They are there for you whenever you need. And this is more of a strength feel, so if and when you want to step it up or add any of these exercises into your existing routine, that would be great too. So if you want to get in touch with me, phillondon@gmail.com. If you want to DM me through Instagram, you can go ahead at phillondon_Bodiphy, my brand name. You can DM me. I will get back to you as soon as I see it. And for now, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for another Pilates Level 2 class. Thanks for joining me.